It's the Datemaster, and yes, we're back. Bitch, don't get too comfortable. Don't ever let a woman get too comfortable. And don't ever change for her because she will resent you for it. I'll tell you why as we break down this video. I mean, you look at this Sierra and Future. You look at their history. You know, they have a child. She goes on to remarry. He's doing his thing. The one thing, Future, when you look at how it dissolved, Future tried to acquiesce to her. He tried to be something that he is not. And you look at what he said. It was stressful. It was a lot of pressure. She tried to change him because she saw him changing for her. When you look at his history, Future is not the marrying type. If he was the marrying type, he would not have the appeal that he has to his fans and to the women that he attracts. Future does not hurt for any women. You look at some of the women he's been with and who he's currently dealing with. He has some of the baddest women in the country walking around. And one must ask, why is a guy like Future always getting the baddest? He's always getting the cream of the crop. How is this so? It is who he is. It's what makes him him. When you are yourself, in a lot of cases, especially in the era that we're in now, if a woman has any sense of familiarity with you via social media, you have a lot of relationships birthing from social media. These women have an image about you. They have their own perception about you. In some cases, it works out in your favor that you are exactly what she perceived you to be, or you're exactly what she envisioned you to be. But in most cases, or not most, but in other cases, men tend to put on a front. They stunt, they talk crazy, they have this persona via social media that in reality, they're not like that in real life. And that relationship goes left. And the guy's like, and it's short-lived. You notice these short-lived relationship only lasts 3 months. You see the woman posting the guy. And I always tell you, men, stop putting your woman on social media. Men, women, you can listen to this advice too, but we know you don't give a damn about advice from a man. You want to do what the fuck you want to do. You want to drink out of a dirty cup. You want to drink out of something that can kill you when we tell you that, hey, don't eat that ice cream for dinner and then you eat it and now your stomach hurts. Now you want us to soothe it. When women are left to their own devices, they destroy themselves. This is why prearranged marriage was and currently still is a thing in other cultures, because women do not have the logical or foresight to pick a man to see what he will become in years to come. So when you are dealing with a woman, what we tend to do, we get comfortable. We get comfortable and we start to be vulnerable. Oh, you can tell me, never tell a woman your problems. Never let her know that you're troubled. You deal with that shit in private, or you deal with it with a true friend who you have no conditional standings with, meaning a friend of years, childhood friends. You guys are more connected because you're not looking for anything other than the friendship that is mutually given. But oftentimes you guys tend to get soft. Oh, this is the one, man. This is the one. I'm going to marry her. This is going to be the one. Not knowing the whole time she is putting on a front to get you to conform. She's acting a role because it ultimately will come out. Because I guarantee when you just look at your arguments. Whenever you have an argument with a woman, guarantee that it does not end on the same topic or subject in which it started. Just do an inventory and look at your relationships, all of the toxic situations. What it started with is not what it ended with, because women are not truthful by nature. They're liars by nature. They come to you looking like a lie. They come to you made up. So they're, again, disingenuous out on the onset in most cases. But we are to think, well, this is just a part of culture. And then you see these women in the comments We were wearing makeup in Egypt. They were wearing makeup and weave in Egypt. You haven't studied or read anything since the 11th grade. Shut the hell up. Because they wore those for ceremonial purposes. They were not walking around taking selfies, putting in other people's hair in their head, putting lashes and makeup on. Stop the cap. But women will say anything to absolve them of any accountability. We know this. So I tell you, men, to not get comfortable, nor should you let her get comfortable, because once she gets comfortable and she realizes that she has those hooks in you, this is when you're going to see the real her. This is when the happy weight comes in. She's going to gain weight. She's going to become lackadaisical around you. She's going to become loose-lipped. The disrespect is going to be calibrated stronger and stronger and stronger. And now you see the real her, because you don't know the real woman until you make her mad or till you see her angry. This is when her true self comes out. This is why you don't show anger and frustration nor emotion with a woman. You have to stand firm and tall at all times. But the moment you try to change, the moment you come out of savage mode, the moment you stop being what she envision you to be, which is a savage, which is the thug, which is the Pookie Rayway, whatever quote or term you want to use, this is when she starts to resent you. Because she can't respect a man who she sees is better than her or more valuable than her, and he dumbs himself down to meet her level. She has to meet your level. So you start to change, and she starts to resent you, and the fire burns out. The most difficult time in a relationship long term is when you realize your woman is not attracted to you as you once were. Well, one would ask, well, how can I tell that my woman is no longer attracted to me? Well, it's simple. The energy does not lie. The chemistry does not lie. Her behavior does not lie. The arguments are more frequent. The disrespect is more frequent. The effort, the apologies become less sincere than they once were when a mistake is made. So these are some telltale signs. Even the sex is not as passionate. She's not going above and beyond the call of duty to please you. And then in turns look for you to please her. And I tell you, men, all the time, you cannot please a woman because a woman is designed to please you. She gets pleasure from pleasing you. It's like using a tool. Let's say a chainsaw, for instance. A chainsaw is a chainsaw, but the way you use it determines the result that you get from it. So if you slice into a tree, you have to slice it a certain way. That way it does not fall on you. The tool is going to do what it does. It's designed to do what it does. So a woman that is looking for you to please her, that is when you start to count down. You don't take me nowhere. You don't do this. You haven't made me this. You don't do that. That is when you should start packing up. Because now she's looking for you to give her some incentive to stay. Hypergamy is always lurking. And women are on a different time clock than men are. So what you may count as 1 hour, she counts as 3 or 4. Because her clock is ticking way faster than yours. And that is when you can tell that your relationship is on the rocks. And this is the ironic part of this conversation, and just the dynamic. You notice how relationships are not in jeopardy until the relationship is not in jeopardy until she feels that it is. If you feel that it's problems that doesn't matter. She's like, oh no, we're going to work it out. But when she's feeling that it's on the rocks and you need to do everything to convince her to stay, that is when you lose. You cannot make a woman attracted to you. It is a natural instinct. And you do so by being consistent with who you are and standing on your values and not being afraid to walk away. If your woman is out of pocket constantly and you have these conversations frequently, they shouldn't be frequent. You shouldn't be having to check your chick every week, every 2 weeks, every other day about shit you discussed 3 weeks ago or a month ago. You fire her ass. Get her out of there. Because she thinks in her mind that you won't do it. And the more you take, the less she respects you. The more bullshit you take, the less she's going to respect you, because she's like, oh, he doesn't have any options, or he must not have the value because he's letting me do all of these things. A woman breaks up with you way before she breaks up with you. She has to set the tone of this, not of discourse. She has to create an environment that justifies her walking away or cheating on you. She has to cultivate the next beta to pick her up, because only betas wait around for leftovers. I used to be that guy, sitting in the cut. In some cases, the woman would sell me a dream. I'm about to leave my man. I'm going to leave. In other cases, she left him, and she did it properly. And I would, not knowing, started to entertain her right after she walks out on her man, thinking that I'm the one. I was the one, but only for the rebound. And I just did a video a few weeks ago talking about the rebound guy is always temporary. You're just a Band-Aid until she heals herself and get what she truly wants. Because again, the man of value, the man that she truly wants, is not waiting in the cut. He's not waiting in the cut, because those type of, it's just like VIP. You think the guys, the dope boys, the rappers who are about to go in the club and spend 10K or getting paid to come and do an appearance, you think they're waiting in line? You think they're waiting for bottle service? Everything is laid out for them because they're VIP. VIPs don't wait. So you have to look at yourself as VIP. Because if you don't look at yourself as VIP, oh, she's going to go and find it. Show me where the VIP is. I need to find it, because that section has the type of man that I'm looking for. But she'll start to resent you. She'll start to entertain other guys. The disrespect is going to be more blatant. And that is when you can cancel Christmas at that case. But do not wait too long before you leave. You must do it abruptly. You must leave at the moment you feel that she has crossed the last line. Is when you cut it off. It's no conversation. It's no closure. I haven't seen that conversation come up a lot, but there used to be this thing called closure for my older men and women who, you deal with the relationship. They say, well, you didn't give me closure. Closure is nothing other than a last attempt to try to save the relationship. Fuck you and your closure. This is the closure, because the closure was given when I gave you the final warning. There's nothing wrong with setting firm boundaries with your woman and letting her know, this is my last conversation with you about this occurrence. And some women say, okay, he's just talking, he's just angry, until you show them different. So do not think or put yourself in a position where you want to give her closure. She wants to come to your house and get her things. You box that shit up and you put it in the mail, or you put it on her car, send her a text, whatever the case may be. Tell her friend, hey, her box of items is here. She can go and pick them up. But no face-to-face interactions, no phone interactions once you decide to cut it off, because there's nothing to discuss. We had the last discussion when I told you this was the last time us having this discussion. So you guys, let me know what you think about this video. Bitch, don't get too comfortable. It's the Datemaster.